Good afternoon, David.
And good morning to you, Thomas.
We're back.
How are
baby.
you? We're back. Took a little break. Things happen in life, and World Cup started, so
yeah,
we're back.
Life gets in the way. There's, daddy duties and such.
Life gets in the way of potting.
Potting and propping.
Potting and propping. All right, so we got a new edition of Prop the Mic today, right? You ready for? You got your King's hat going.
What new edition? What are you talking about?
No, a new episode.
Yes, okay.
Nothing. No, we're still going to follow the same agenda. We're going to go through the games.
You got me nervous there for a second.
No. You thought you were unprepared for today?
Yeah. No, but I thought maybe you were referring to the two new hats we had on today.
Oh no, I'm all patriotic, even though the US didn't win.
A little sad. Yeah.
No, it's all right. They're still in it. They're going to get whomped by England on Friday, but then they got to take care of Iran, so it should be all right.
Okay. Make it out of the group stage.
Exactly. And then that King's hat, is that like a throwback King's hat?
It is a throwback King's hat. I think it's back to their days. I think they started out as like the Royals. I think the Buffalo Royals or Rochester Royals, and then they moved to Kansas City, and they were still the Royals, and then changed to the Kings. So I think it pays respect to the colors they used to use back in those days.
Does this mean that you're kind of backing away from the Clippers, and the Kings might be your home
Loving
state
the
team?
Kings, man.
Yeah, they are a lot. They're a lot more fun to watch than the Clippers.
So much more fun. I'm so excited for that game tonight. Too bad John Bain aren't playing, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, John might be playing, so
yeah.
He's still questionable, but
so doubtful.
Let's dive into the games. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so we got a 4-game slate, a little one tonight, but some good teams.
Teams, yes. Injuries are.
Injuries are really plaguing this. Some of these matchups from being great, but all right. So the first one we got a 7:30 p.m. Eastern time TNT game. Hopefully some good commentary from Sir Charles.
Yes,
our fave. We got the Nets at the Sixers. Nets are 8-9. We got Kyrie back in action on that team. Mm-hmm. And then we got the Sixers 8-8, who are actually getting 7.5 points at home. And we'll explain why in a second. Mm-hmm. With a total of 217.5. Sharps were on the under on this game. And yeah, I mean, the big news in this game is the injuries, right? So you got Embiid out, Harden's still out, Maxi's out. Harris was questionable, but I'm pretty sure he's playing.
I think he'll play, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can field a team if he doesn't play. So, and then on the net side, Claxton was questionable, but I also think he's playing. So, yeah. So what do you like in this watered down Nets Sixers?
Yeah. I'm afraid on too much action in this game, just because of the blowout potential, also just the uncertainty of, lineups out there that you just have no experience with. But some of the things that popped out to me, you got to take them with a grain of salt though, because these are stats based on different guys being on the floor than are going to be on the floor tonight. But
right.
Against Philly, you can do well targeting guys who shoot a lot, in the post, rim offense, and from the mid range. They've actually been pretty good with 3-point defense. So who are the guys on the Nets that fit into that profile? You have Durant taking 25% of his shots from long mid range. Mm-hmm. I should note that long mid range specifically, more so than short mid range, is where you can attack Philly with some success. So
what's the difference between long mid range and short mid? Is it like
short is like in the like
8.
inside the free throw line, and long is outside the free throw line.
Got it. Okay.
So it's like inside 14 feet, outside 14 feet. Durant is shooting 50% from in long mid range. So I like that, but I'm scared of Durant tonight. His lines are too high in a game that has blowout rest potential. I'm staying away from Durant. I like Curry. He's taking 34% of his shots from long mid range, and he's shooting 57%. I like his return to Philly, but I don't see any lines out on him yet. So nothing there. And Claxton was the other one. Claxton takes 87% of his shots at the rim, shooting 79%. I like it even more considering that Embiid's out. So I like that, but you also have to balance it. You also have him coming off, he is questionable. So something to consider. Now, I looked at on the Philly side, you have 3 high usage guys out tonight. So who is that going to benefit? I like Melton. I kind of like he's a guy that I've kind of been on in spots throughout the season. Looking at some of his stats, specifically without some of these guys playing, Harden will eliminate because Harden's been out all season. But in one game he played without Maxey, he had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, with 5 threes and 5 steals. Yeah. In 3 games, Melton's played without Embiid. He had a game with 9 assists and a game with 6 assists. And steals, he had 2, and also 5. That was a different 5-steal game than the game without Maxey. So what I liked is Melton, his line on points is 15.5. His line on assists is 4.5. Actually, I think it went up to 5.5. Actually, yeah.
I had it at 4.5 as well because
I just saw it. I think it must have been getting money because I just looked on FanDuel. It was like, it was plus money now on 5.5.
Yeah,
so plus 130. Yeah,
4.5 was like minus 155. So it wasn't great. So. Wasn't great, but you like you like 5.5 still.
Here's what I like: 15 points and 4 assists is plus 109. I like Melton on that tonight.
15 points and 4 assists.
15 points was minus 150. 4 assists was minus 340.
Okay.
But get you plus money, those two together. I think he has a pretty good chance. I'd love putting it with the steal too, but it's not an option on FanDuel right now. So.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. I'm very nervous about this play, but our boy Ben Simmons has been getting hot.
Yeah, I was waiting. That is the storyline of this game, right?
Yeah.
It's the return of Simmons to the Sixers, right?
It is. But he's the one guy who, I don't think it benefits him. I think if anything, it detracts from him in this game. But I like his trend lines are going in the right direction. If you look at his points per 100 shot attempts, up until the last 3 games of the season, he was below 100. Which is not good. Last 3 games, 137 points per 100 shot attempts, 187 and 169.
Okay.
So his shots starting to fall. His line's 11.5 points. I think it's low enough. I have a feeling. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I think this return to Philly, given this very recent success, bodes well for a good Simmons game tonight. I know I'm going to eat those words tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if you said, which player in the NBA has the least strongest mentality for a high pressure return revenge game, I would say Ben Simmons.
Yes, he's number 1 on that list.
He just doesn't have the head for this type of game, but what I feel is that his team is also going to prioritize him scoring.
Yes, I agree with you.
I feel that this is going to be not a very competitive game, and Durant and Kyrie are going to prioritize getting him the ball because they want to use this kind of as a breakthrough game for him. So I could see him putting up 20-something points in this game. I could also see him putting up 2 and like shooting the ball once. Right? Like wide open layups and he's kicking it out. But yeah, at 11.5 points, considering he's been 11, 15, and 22, good trajectory. And even the last game had Kyrie in it. I think it's a good play.
Yeah. I like it without. I like Embiid and Harden both not being on the court tonight for Simmons. I think it's there's something mentally there, especially the history given with Embiid. You know, they have a long history together, been at odds with each other. I think keeping him off the floor. Embiid's a good he's a good. What's the right word? SHIT talker.
Poop. He's a good poop talker.
He's a poop talker.
Yeah.
So, I like that.
Talks a lot of poopy. For our rated G show here.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think so. FanDuel clearly saw this as a narrative, right, to try to make some story out of this game.
Yeah,
they were offering the Simmons first free throw attempt odds again. I saw. It was -113 either way. Hits it or misses it. Obviously, he's probably a lifetime, I don't know, 70, 80% free throw shooter, like at least. He might even be higher than that. So the odds would say take the hit, but I think they feel that the Philly crowd is just going to be all over him during that first shot. That's a fun one. I wasn't going to play that, but I just thought it was fun to call out.
Yeah, I like that.
You and I were pretty much aligned. I had Melton assists over 4.5. I had Simmons over 11.5 points.
Nice.
I also had I'm a little nervous about this. I had Durant at 25 points and the Nets money line. Putting that together, it's still -135, so it's not great for a parlay. But yeah, despite this potentially being a blowout, I mean Durant. First of all, the Nets aren't really blowing anybody out. Of late, right? Most of the games are pretty competitive, and Durant has scored 25 points in I think every game of the season. So I don't love that play, but I'm going with it. It's one of my plays.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right. We'll see. That'll be an interesting game. All right. So the next one is the fun one of the night. The Kings at the Grizzlies. Kings are 9-6. Grizzlies are 10-7. Grizzlies we're actually -1.5 in the game. Sharps were on the Kings plus the points and over 234.5. So lots of scoring.
Yeah.
The reason why I think Ja might be playing is because the line was Kings -2 or 2.5 this morning, and it changed to the Grizzlies minus. So, let me just see if there's any news. Yeah, Ja's still game time decision, so somebody must have some insight. But regardless, I think probably both of us are favoring plays on the king side. Is that kind of where your head was at?
I got a play on the king side, hence the King's hat we're wearing today. One that I really like. But I have stuff on Memphis too.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So, one matchup that I liked was Sacramento's top 5 in 3-point frequency in the league, and Memphis is bottom 5 in 3-point shots allowed. They're bottom 5 in overall 3-point attempts, but they're actually allowing the most non-corner 3 attempts in the league this year. So who does that correlate with? That is Kevin Huerter. He's taking 62% of his shots from 3. He's shooting 50% from 3 and 51% on non-corner 3s. So his line's 2.5 threes. He's done it in his last 8 of 10. He's done in his last 7 of 9 on one-day rest. And when he's on one-day rest on the road, he's done it in his last 4 games when he had 5, 4, 3, and 4. So, he's getting there. He's getting this tonight.
That was one of my plays as well.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who like you said, shoots from the same exact position. Like, the mirror, like not the top of the 3-point line, but kind of like that corner, but
spot.
not. Yeah. He's so he's gonna, he's averaging 7.6 attempts in the last 5 games. So I think he's just got to hit roughly 40%. I think he will nail that. Okay, good play. I like that. Who else you got?
That's all I got on the Kings side.
Yeah, the only other play I had, just because of consistency, I like Sabonis assists. Over 5.5 assists. He's hit that 9 out of the last 10 games.
He will have Triple J all over him.
He will, but Triple J will probably have 3 fouls in the first 7 minutes of the game. So no, but I actually think having a good defender on you leads to more assists, right? Because when you catch the ball in the post,
good point.
You're going to kick the ball out as opposed to turning around and shooting. So
good point.
I'm curious to validate that statement. Looking back at the games where he had, it's literally 6 or 7 he has every game. So
interesting.
He's super consistent. Even in the games where he doesn't get that much playing time, he still gets this. So, but yeah, I like Sabonis. Ride the trend over 5.5 assists.
5.5. Okay, I like that. Looking at the Memphis side, they are number 1 in the league in attempts from short mid-range, and Sacramento is allowing, or whatever, they're number 26th in mid-range attempts allowed, and they're number 28th in shooting percentage from short mid-range. So that's the one spot you can really target them, and Memphis has a few guys whose game fits that profile. Morant, obviously one, but I don't know if he's going to play. The other 2 are Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks.
Yep.
Tyus Jones shooting 52% from short mid-range, and Dylan Brooks is shooting 44% short mid-range. Tyus Jones' line tonight is 15.5 points. He's done it in his last 2 of the last 3 games he played without Ja. He did it in 2 of them. So that's one line. That's one I like tonight. Jones over 15.5 points. I also like his rebound line's 2.5. He's also cleared it in like every game without Bane and Ja. So
so you would play those even if Ja plays or no?
I think so.
Yeah,
definitely. So here's my Jones. I might be a little bit more questionable about, obviously. But Brooks will play. Brooks will get the run regardless. In 3 games without Bane and Ja since last season, he's scored 31, 19, and 30.
Okay.
His line tonight's 21.5. And rebound-wise, he's had 5, 4, and 4, and his line's 3.5. So I actually like both of those for Brooks tonight.
Yeah, I mean...
Back.
Yeah, I don't know who else is really scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
What about Triple J?
I didn't look into him too much. Yeah,
I mean, he seems to be like pretty open to shooting threes. So his line was a little too high. I didn't like his points line. His points line was like something like 18 points. But I think his 3 line was only 1.5 threes. So I thought that was interesting. But again,
it is. I don't have it up here now, but I think Memphis's 3-point defense was pretty good, and that was why I was on these guys who don't take a lot of threes, I think, and whatever. But yeah, you're right.
Sacramento defense is pretty good.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay,
defense, yeah.
Got it. Okay, all right. And then who are you picking in the game?
Who am I picking in the game? I'm gonna go with the Kings.
Yeah, there's only one answer, man.
Yeah.
Bought the hat. You got to back the team.
Yeah, I've actually had this hat for like 5 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You must have like a nice hat closet. You got quite a few hats these days. Yeah, no, I think the Kings getting points is a steal in this game.
Yeah.
So I would lock that in before Ja potentially announces he's out.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Let's move on to the third game. We got the Pistons a sad 3-15. This team was not set up for success with everybody healthy, and now they've got like 3 of their stars out. They're and to make matters worse, they're 0-10 on the road.
Oof.
That's also a very brutal schedule, right? They've played. Was their 11th away game?
Seems like a lot. Yeah,
that seems like a lot, but I'll double check that. They're going up against the Nuggets, who are also slightly decimated, 10-6. They're 4-1 at home. Nuggets are -5.5 in the game. Totals 222.5. Right, so we got Bay, Cunningham, Stewart out for the Pistons. We got Murray, Jokic, and Gordon all questionable. My guess is they're not going to rush them back to play the Pistons.
Okay. I saw Jokic and Murray is doubtful and Gordon is questionable.
Yeah,
I think they're all probably. Yeah.
I think out of the 3 of them, Gordon's probably got the best chance of playing. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Regardless,
right.
I couldn't find it. I don't have anything on this game. There's it's just so much uncertainty and I don't know. I'm like, ugh. I just couldn't find anything.
There's just one guy.
Who?
One guy. It's not KCP. I know you're thinking that, but
Michael Porter.
No, Jaden Ivey. I think Jaden Ivey's a nice play in this game. I was looking at his points. I think it was around 17 or 18 points.
18, yeah.
Yeah, which he's surpassed that in several games, come close in others, in the last 5. But what I thought there was good value in was his 3 points. So over 1.5 threes. I like that it was plus money, plus 105. In his last 5 games, you look at it and you're like, that doesn't look great. 4, 1, 1, 1, and 4. So he's got a 1 sandwich right there. But what I liked was that in all those games, he attempted six free throws, 6 3-pointers on average. And what I liked the most was in his last game, he went 4 for 4. I think in this type of game, he's going to be jacking up threes. He's just got to hit 2. So I'm going Jaden Ivey, 2 threes.
That's a good play. I like that. Yeah.
If it was minus 130, I wouldn't touch it. But
I hear
money,
you got value.
I think it's good value.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then the other thing, I'm not going to play it, but just note it. Pistons are the worst. I think the worst first quarter team in the league, and they can't be better without all of those guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now they are the 4th worst. The Pacers are the worst. Abysmal with minus 5.4 points, and the Nuggets are one of the best. Denver's the 2nd best team at plus 3.6. So normally I would be all over this and kind of playing the Nuggets to win the first quarter, but again, with all the uncertainty on the Nuggets side, I'll
and I don't know.
does
it even maybe it's even better for Detroit? Yeah, like the 3 guys that are out are 3 young players, right? So maybe they do perform better in the first quarter. Having some more veteran experience in the starting lineup as opposed to their normal starters. I don't know. So
yeah, I'm looking at the last 3. Last game they were minus 5, but in the last 3 they were plus 3.3. So they must have had a good two good first quarters. So you could be right there. So also good.
Bagley's Bagley's starting, right? So he's got more experience. Bogdanovich,
yeah,
and then Corey Joseph plays, and he's got a ton of he's a veteran. So
all right.
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, regardless, we're going to lay off of it. But,
yes, enough.
But I got a good first quarter play on the next game. So
okay,
let's dive into that one. We got the 10 p.m. game. I assume this is the second TNT game.
I believe so. Yeah.
Lakers at the Suns. Lakers are 5-10. They are also winless on the road, 0-5 on the road. Going up against the Suns, who are 10-6. They are dominant at home, 8-1 at home. Injuries, we got Chris Paul, Cam Johnson, both out. And LeBron is out questionable for return today, so he might come back. I doubt they're going to bring him back for a game they're probably, going to lose. So, and the spread right now kind of indicates that he's not playing. The Suns are -10 in the game. Totals 227. So, before we dive into the matchups, let me just cover the first quarter take.
Yeah.
The Lakers are they the worst? Let me see. Oh, no, I just said the Pacers are the worst. The Lakers are the third worst first quarter team in the league. They might be, let me see, away. They are -7 in away games. So, so they are basically, -3.5 overall first quarter, -7 in away games. Phoenix Suns are plus 1.6 in overall in the first quarter, but plus 2.7 points at home. So really kind of two opposing ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. The spread for the first quarter is the Suns -3.5 at -106, or if you didn't like that and you wanted to keep it to one possession, you could do -2.5 at -132. So I think that's good value, the -2.5. So that's the first play here.
All right. I like that. I think this is. I think Phoenix gets out big early and just wraps it up nice and early tonight. So I like that play.
Yeah. Okay. Noteworthy. I spent a lot of time talking about first quarters. There's a high correlation, I believe. I haven't looked at it, but most of the teams that are really good in the first quarter have a star that plays the entire first quarter, right? Yeah. So in this case,
Booker does that.
Booker, and especially since Chris Paul's been out, he's been playing 12 minutes. They are also a really strong third quarter team. Same deal. In the third quarter, he plays all 12 minutes in the 6 games that Paul's been out. So that also lends itself towards maybe some plays for Booker as well.
Yeah,
so
it leads right into my play for this game.
Go for it, man.
So Phoenix is top 5 in long mid-range frequency this year. The Lakers are 28th in long mid-range shots allowed, and also 28th in long mid-range shooting percentage. That's Devin Booker's game, though he does get from behind the arc, but that's a lot of his game. He takes 23% of his shots from long mid-range, and he's shooting 48% on those shots. His line tonight on points is 28.5. He played one game last season against the Lakers without Chris Paul in the lineup. Listen to his line from that game. He was 30. I didn't write down his rebounds. This wasn't great, but he had 10 assists in that game. He had 4 threes and 4 steals. Looking at the steals line also, in the 8 games he's played without Cam Johnson this season, he's also had a steal in 6 of those 8 games. So I like Booker to have a steal tonight. As well as his point line. I also, given the assist, his line of assists is 6.5. You get plus money on the 6.5, and considering he got the 10 in another one, I might even look maybe to do something like I did with the Melton, where you put a lower point, an adjusted point line with an adjusted assist line. Would love to throw a steal in there, just like Melton. I feel like I might play that same exact parlay for both of these guys tonight. The point assist steal parlay adjusted down a bit. But yeah, that's my play from this game. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I was trying to find something on Booker. His numbers in the 6 games without Chris Paul, 28.3 points, 5.8 rebounds, 7.1 assists. So he's a much more complete player without Chris Paul in there.
Yeah. Well, the offense runs through him. Otherwise,
exactly.
Chris Paul does all the rest of the work.
But I was trying to look up. I think one of these games he's going to nail a triple double. He's flirting with it, like he does. He hasn't. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
I'm kind of speaking of that. I meant to bring it up when we were on the Nets game, but I think taking a flyer on a Ben Simmons triple double tonight might not be the worst thing in the world.
It's not a terrible idea. Yeah, so the closest game he came to it in the last 6 was the game against Utah, where he put up 8 rebounds, 10 assists, and 49 points. So maybe he's got one of those in him again.
I just feel like the games where somebody's getting to a triple double are going to be really competitive games, and I don't know about this one.
Yeah, well, the value is pretty good though, plus 3,400. So
there you go.
He's not a triple double guy. So that was just kind of a flyer. The actual play that I liked in this game, other than the first quarter play, was I liked Mikal Bridges rebounds, over 5.5 rebounds, minus 115. He's done it in 4 of the last 6 games. So I'm using that set of games without Chris Paul kind of as the sample to analyze this game. 9, 4, 5, 9, 6, 6. So crushed it in 2 of them, just made it in 2 of them, missed it by a rebound or 2 in the other 2. So,
yeah.
But the Lakers are not a good rebounding team. Anthony Davis grabs a lot of boards, but other than that, I'm not sure who else rebounds on that team. So,
yeah.
So I like Mikal Bridges. He usually gets some good run time too in these games.
Yeah, he plays a lot of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, that's my other play for this.
All
game.
right. Nicely done.
And
made
my
it.
last,
We're back.
We're back. Yeah. My last question for you is who do you like in the afternoon World Cup game?
Gonna have to tell me who's playing.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say that was gonna be my first question. Is do you know who's playing? All right, we got idea. France versus Australia.
France versus Australia. I mean, my inclination would be France, but I did just see something. They just lost their best player, right? He's out.
Yeah. They did.
But probably still no match
Karim
for
Benzema.
Australia. What's the consensus on that one?
Yeah. It's not going to be Australia.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think so.
France is still the favorite to win. I just wanted to see what your level of knowledge was. It was actually
wasn't bad. Are you a little impressed? That's a little.
No, I'm impressed that you know nothing about soccer. It means you're putting all your energy towards this pod and
That's
basketball.
Correct. Yeah, it's all NBA. Yes.
But try to watch the U.S.
I watched. Yeah, I watched the first half yesterday. Yeah. Then I went to the beach.
Good call. All right, that wraps it up.
Good job. We probably have a big slate tomorrow. I'm excited. There's probably a bunch of games. So I didn't look at it yet, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know what the schedule's going to be weird.
They're all off on Thanksgiving, so I'd imagine there's a bunch of games tomorrow.
Oh, there's no games on Thanksgiving?
No games on Thanksgiving. They let the NFL have their day.
That is the NFL's day.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Good work, David. Talk to you later.